Hello everyone. Today we're going to be standing on your mat with a small yellow band looped around the arches of your feet. Now we want the band to encourage you to roll your feet out to the side. So you're going to put the band on and then spread your toes and then just roll that weight of your foot onto the outside and feel as if you're pressing an outline of your foot into the floor through the big toe, all 5 small toes, and then around the back heel of the foot as well. So there's an awareness of the arches, and that awareness needs to run up your body as you're standing still on the base of your mat facing forward. Kneecaps are going to be facing forward and aligned. So try not let them roll in. In order to keep the kneecaps facing forward, you can clench your glutes a little bit. So you're wrapping the glutes around to the middle of your back, and you're going to keep your head up high on your shoulders and your shoulders out wide. On an inhale, we'll begin to roll down, so tuck in your chin and then articulate bone by bone, making your way back down towards the mat. Inhale here, leaning forward, squeezing the glutes, wrapping those cheeks and keeping your kneecaps facing forward. Unravel the spine all the way up to standing. It's an inhale to tuck in the chin and roll down, keeping that feeling of opening up the arches of your feet, pressing into the outside, and your big toe. Inhale, roll back up and unravel the spine. We go again. Nodding the chin to chest, you leaning forward, you reaching forward so that your weight's on your forefoot, and then you're anchoring your heel into the ground for me and tucking the tail, making your way back up to standing. Weight bear on the left foot only. So if that's difficult for you, you might want to grab a chair and then have the chair next to you. We're going to lift the right foot towards the chest, pulling against the resistance band, feeling hip flexors, working on that right hand side. We carry on with the right leg. You go up and down, keeping pressure through the left foot, and you're welcome to hold on to the chair with your left hand and keeping your kneecap facing forward on both sides and your hips shining forward like headlights of a vehicle. Everything's facing forward. A couple more here. And last one. And then we'll swap over to the other side. Pressing into the ground, we exhale to lift the left. Noticing any differences between the two sides. Trying to work the entire leg all the way up. So you don't want to buckle in your knee, you want to remain straight, but the kneecap forward and the weight on the outside of your foot. Yes, keep going. 4 more. And well done. You're going to turn so that you have the length of your mat to work on. Otherwise, if you've got enough space in the room, you can walk sideways. We're going to do band walks. So we'll start with a softness in the knees and a sticking out feeling in your bottom. So you want to almost dab your bum bones backwards. You can interlace your fingers and have your elbows out to the side. Draw navel to spine, close ribs, and gaze just down in front of your feet. So you aren't changing the shape of your neck, you're not creasing or creating a fold in your neck, and you're going to walk sideways. Now the propelling leg is the push leg. It's not the lifting leg that's working, it's actually the pressing away leg that's working. So make sure that you are trying to push off the foot, and then you're welcome to stay on your mat and go back. So we can do many repetitions in this tiny space, or feel free to walk the length of your room and keep consistent in the one leg and then walk all the way back. But it's more time based, so we're just going to spend time working the hips in this way. It's very functional because you're weight bearing. The forces through the hip joint are ones that you need in everyday life. Some of the bum busting work that we do in other sessions when you're side lying, it takes doing this to connect that to real life. And so we've done it a few times with the softness in the knees. I'm going to encourage you to straighten your legs, lock the glutes, and walk with straight legs out to the side. And so now you're really trying to press into that weight-bearing leg. It's not about how high you kick this leading leg. It's about the trailing leg. It's not trailing at all, it's propelling. Press, straight legs, lifted heart, tight glutes. I don't know why I feel the need to like come behind you. Keep going. And I know it's uncomfortable, but you're going to just grin and bear it and do it again. I'll be back in 3 to 5 minutes. Now, a few things that people tend to do because they're getting tired is we tend to toe out. Please don't toe out. Toes forward, if anything, heel leading. So you're leading with the back of the glutes as opposed to the hip flexor in the front. So just be mindful of that. Keep the feet facing forward, heel leading, Stefan. And then side again. And it looks like you've had about enough, eh? And so you'll stand on the side of your mat, whichever side it might be, face in towards the center, hands are at your sides, fix the feet, press into the outside of the foot, and on an exhale, lift your right knee to chest. And 2. Good. Exhale, 3. Keep lifting through your center, straighten the left leg or the weight-bearing leg. 5 more. You're welcome to do it without the band if it's just proving too difficult now. It's not a problem to let go of the band. We're just trying to actually work your stabilizing leg. And then you exhale. We are strengthening the hip flexor on the non-weight bearing leg. So you would still manage to do that if you didn't have a band on because there's gravity. Keep long and strong in that support leg. Just a few more. 2 more. And then you can kick off your band and lie down. Lying down on your mat, you're going to take your arms up and overhead. Keep the arms on the floor and try and feel how arched the back is on the mat. You're going to attempt to squash all the bones of your back into the mat using your lower abdominals. You imprint your spine and you tuck your tail. And then you untuck the tail, and so we'll go again. It's just little pelvic curls, trying to recruit the lower abdominals to move the pubic bone towards sternum, and then back again, exhaling to move, and then unravel. So there are tiny bones in the back and the lumbar spine that we want to get each one of those bones to press down into the floor, and you do so by using your tummy muscles, but you can also recruit your glutes. So you can push with your bum and pull with your tum. Last 3. You still want to make sure that you connect it into the ground through the toes and that the arms are reaching long. And now on your last one, you're going to hold the tuck and then lift up the pelvis bone by bone, keeping the knees from flaring out to the side. You're going to squeeze the knees slightly together. Inhale here and exhale, you move down, vertebra by vertebra, untucking the tail at the end. Imprint the spine. Having the arms overhead makes it harder to curl the pelvis. So if you're finding it really not worth your while, not feeling like you're getting enough movement in your back, you can move your hands back down to your sides, palms down, no problem. Especially if there's discomfort in the shoulders, you do not have to be in that overhead position. And come down and unravel. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, press into the toes and curl yourself up. Inhale here, close the knees slightly, and exhale, come down. Unravel. Inhale again, and we tuck and lift. Breathing in. And then exhale, last one, all the way down. The arms move through the air and land at your hips, neck on the mat next to your hips. Reaching the arms forward. Tuck the tail and lift your hips up off the ground. Hold it there, breathe in. And then twist your hips so that your right glute is lower and dab that bottom down into the floor. Lift up, twist to the left, dab that one down. And then twist to the right. And change. Keep the spine in the middle of the mat, even though you're doing the rotation. So don't twist and rotate and then dab off to one side. dab down exactly where the shadow of your bottom would be, should you be in neutral. And then we'll do one more. Lift the hips up nice and high, tuck the tail, drop the sternum, and then lower the spine vertebra by vertebra all the way down. Float your right leg to tabletop, lift your left leg to tabletop, and hold the legs there. Squash the legs together. Then extend the legs up towards the ceiling, straightening the legs. And so now you're going to try and reach your right foot further. You're going to lift your right bum off the ground and try and touch the ceiling with your right foot. And then down. And lift your left. And lower. And so we're doing a similar kind of rotation in your pelvis, with just the orientation being up as opposed to down. And just do 4 more. And then we're going to do a spine twist, and you can choose to do the spine twist one of 2 ways. Either we bend the knees to tabletop and you squash the knees together. Take your arms up towards the ceiling and open them out to the side. Hold yourself there. On an inhale, you can take your legs over to the right hand side, and then exhale, come back to center. We're all doing this one together. Inhale, come over towards me, and then exhale back to center. If that's for you, that's great. Otherwise, you straighten the legs up to the ceiling. On an inhale, you take the legs over. Please grow your left leg longer, and exhale, come back to center. We go over to the left hand side. The right leg grows longer, and you exhale back to center. Carry on with this thought process of going from side to side, but making the top leg longer than the bottom. Let's do 4 more. And last one. And then bend the legs to tabletop so you're all together. Lower 1 foot. And then we'll say the left leg is in the air. Keep the left leg in tabletop. You'll extend the left leg up to the ceiling. So we'll flex the foot towards your chest and the left leg is up to the ceiling. If that is difficult for you, stay there with a bent right leg. If you're looking for more, straighten the right leg along the mat and squash it into the ground. You can have a bend in the knee, it's not a problem, but because we want the foot to cast a shadow over the hip. So if you can't straighten all the way with the foot living above the hip, you must bend the knee to keep the foot living above the hip. Our circle will be across the midline, so you just move the foot towards the middle of your body, and then lower the leg a little, go out to the side a little and back to the top, and we stop. That was on an inhale. So now it's the exhale's turn. You breathe out and we stop. Then you breathe in and we stop. Now you breathe out and we stop. Then you breathe in and we stop. Now out and you stop for reals. Now we're going to change direction, but it's an inhale. Inhale out and around and stop. Exhale out and around and stop. Inhale out and around and stop. Again. 2 more rounds, that is. Exhale. And then last breath cycle. Inhale and exhale. Point the toe, bend the knee, and lower the foot. Right leg comes to tabletop. We choose to extend the leg up to the ceiling as far as you can with a flex in the foot. You may buckle in the knee just to keep it, and you can choose to straighten the left leg along the mat. On an inhale, we circle towards the midline and around. And then exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Keep going, arms are long and wide. Good. Keep squashing the other leg into the floor. Keep the kneecap up to the ceiling. Keep the toes pointing in the right direction. Straight along, not out to the side. And last one. Boop. We change direction. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last set. And last one. Point your toes. Lower the leg. Straighten the leg along the ground. Well done. Take your hands behind your head, interlace your fingers, leave your legs straight. If your back is sore in this position, you can bend your knees. It's okay to do it with bent knees. I'm doing it with straight legs because I actually think it pulls your pelvis into neutral, and I'd love for you to practice doing chest lifts in neutral. So we're using the legs as almost like a paperweight. On an exhale, you'll lift your head and your chest up to gaze down your thighs and along to your feet. Inhale there, and then exhale, lie down. Always a double breath cycle with the chest lift. Inhale, and exhale, you come up, and then you have this inhale to pause and wait. And exhale to lie down. It's an inhale to find length in the right muscles to scoop up, and then exhale, you come up into your chest lift. Keep pressing your head back into your hands so that it's truly an abdominal exercise. You may go down, inhale, and exhale, you come on up. Meaning you're not using the neck and the face, and then make your way down to perform the exercise. Last one. Exhale to come up, press your head into your hands, and exhale to go down. Well done. Exhale, let's come up into the chest lift. And then you bend your right knee, bend your left knee, and you stay in that position. We rotate your torso to the right, and you rotate your torso to the left, and then you rotate to the right, and now you come over to the left. Keep pressing your feet into the ground and do your chest lift with rotation. The idea here is that you're rotating like the Queen's wave. The rotation isn't about twisting and closing your elbows across your body, but rather about taking your heart from one side of your knees all the way up and over to the other without lying down at all. So the height that you remain off the mat, last two, is the same throughout. And then come back to center, crunch high, and lie down. Good. You're going to lift up into your chest lift again. And you'll take your right hand out from behind your head. Then you'll push your right hand over your knees towards the left side. You're not going to hang on to the leg. You're just going to reach past your left knee. Keep that crunch. Take the right hand back behind your head. Come back to the center. Take your left hand out over across to the right hand side of your right thigh. And then take your hand back behind your head and twist back to center. So we reach the left arm. Keep that crunch up high, still fine, and put your hand behind your head without changing it. Come back to center. Go over to the left. Your right, sorry. And then put your hand back. We twist to center. Come back to the left. Hand reaches. Crunch high. Hand goes back behind your head. Come to center. One more. We reach. Hand goes back behind your head. Come to center. Crunch high. And then lie down. Good. Move your arms into a T. Keep your knees stuck together. Keep your feet stuck together. And then inhale to take your legs all the way over to the right hand side and push your left knee longer along the floor. You can use your right hand to hold the outside of your left knee, pulling down the leg and moving it across even more. Push your left shoulder down into the ground and gaze left at your left hand. Hang out there and encourage an inhale so big that it expands your rib cage and stretches you further. Take a big in and exhale it out. Take another one in and then pull yourself back to center. Arms go back into a T, the legs go over to the left hand side, the right knee gets longer, longer, longer. And then you use your left hand to pull the knee down and you gaze at your right hand, palm up, shoulder down, arm long, and really pulled out of its socket. Use your inhale to try and breathe into all the little bits and bobs in between your ribs, so the intercostal muscles. And expand your diaphragm as you inhale into your belly and inhale into your back. Take a big inhale there. And exhale completely out. And another one in. And then wrap your body back. Lift your right leg to tabletop. And then using both hands, reach up to the ceiling, lift your head and your chest, and grab onto your shins with two hands. You're going to take your right hand on top of your left hand. And then lift the left leg up and extend it along the diagonal line. Holding on, lifting yourself even higher, you draw in your belly button. Swap your legs. Swap your legs. Swap your legs. Keep drawing in the belly button and using the shin to help lift you a little bit higher. And go 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, holding on to that shin, you contemplate extending the leg up to the ceiling and grabbing the back of your calf. Pull your leg towards your chest while dropping the other leg onto the floor. Pull twice. 1, 2, swap legs. 1, 2, swap legs. 1, 2, swap legs. 1, 2, swap. 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 Last one, grab the right knee, bend it, hold it there for a moment, put your hands behind your head. Lift that left leg up on the diagonal line, twist to the right, lift your right foot a little bit because it's dropping, swap legs, twist, swap legs, twist, crisscross, drawing in your navel. Let's go 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then hug knees to chest and rest. Tuck in your chin and roll yourself up to seated. Good. Then you're going to get onto your hands and your knees in 4-point kneeling. Here we're going to round the back, tucking in the chin and the tail and the chest and arch up the bones of the back. So you tuck in your chin and you round your back and you tuck in your tail and you get really high into this flexion. And then you'll untuck the tail and the chest and the chin and gaze forward. Tuck in your chin, your chest, and arch up. And then untuck and stick out your chest to look forward. We'll do 4 more, articulating the spine, trying to really get flexion, and then moving into extension, pressing back, looking forward. Tuck in your chin and round your back up. And then sink the spine, looking forward. Another one. And you sink, looking forward. You're going to walk your hands towards your knees. And then tuck your tail in this position, trying to hardly weight bear on your hands. Can you lift your heels of your hands up so that you're on your fingertips only and you're poised, perched? Tuck the tail really deeply and then untuck the tail without weight bearing in your hands. So stick out your bum. Yes, shove your shins into the floor and hardly weight bear into your fingers and then tuck your tail again. And then stick out your tail, sticking out your bum a lot. And now use the glutes, wrap them and tuck them. Keep your shins shoved into the floor and you hardly weight bearing, and then you untuck your tailbone to expose your bum bones backwards. Using navel to spine and glutes to tuck. Now keep the glutes tight as you untuck. And then we do 4 more. Tuck and untuck. 3, shins, untucking. 2, and then your last one, you tuck your tail, you untuck your tail, you keep it untucked. Clenching the glutes towards your center, you keep yourself still and you interlace your fingers, holding your hands out in front of you with your elbows wide. From here, you press your pelvis forward into an upright posture. And then, leaving your hands loose in front of you, you dab your bum bones backwards, trying to take your chest forward. So, you stick out your bottom, but you clench it. You must take your body weight forward so that you're in the sweet spot where the glutes are working to hold you up. And then you rise up like a deadlift, pressing your pelvis forward. And then you stick your bum out behind you, clenching the cheeks without falling over, but nearly. And then press yourself forward again, leaving those hands slightly in front. Inhale to bend at the waist, sticking the bum down, back, and the chest forward, and your spine is crispy. And then you rise up as a unit, and inhale to go back. Expose your bum bones, but clench your cheeks, and exhale, press forward. And inhale, go back. Exhale, press forward. And inhale, go back. Last one, press forward and stay. Take your right foot forward in front of you. And then see, is it easy for you to stand up from here, or do you need to use your hands on your knee, but you're going to rise up off the ground? Okay, you can let your hands go, it's not a problem, but you are going to lift your arms out in front of you and bend your knees into a squat. Taking your hips back, you stick out your bottom, clenching your glutes. And then in your squat, you check for your neck position, so our line is actually down. You can lower your hands a little bit so that your shoulders are at 90. And you're going to attempt to lift your chest upright more, using more glutes. It's like you're hinging yourself back. Weight bearing on your heels. So we want to make sure you are able to keep your heels down, you're not on your toes. In this position, you're going to drag your right kneecap forward and your left kneecap back. So you're slurping your left bottom into the socket. And then you change to slurp the right bum. And so we're moving from one to the other, and you're pulling the hips back and forward. Good. Now the kneecaps are tracking in a straight line. And you're going to do 10 more. 4, 3, 2, 1, and rise up. Good. Stepping to the back of your mat. Arms are out in front of you, back into your squat. Now for those of you who want to, you can always put a band or 2 or 3 around the legs in order to make this a little harder. But I'm actually quite happy with it being free, own body weight. And so you're going to go again, pulling the kneecap forward and back. And the sensation of slurping it into its rightful spot. So it's not wagging your tail, you actually need to pull back. I hope you're all feeling it too. And so we go. And we're aiming for between 10 and 20, so wherever that sits for you. So we're on 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, slurp, 9, 8, 7, I'm dancing. 4, 3, 2, 1, and rise. 3 times. And so we go back into the squats. And it could be at any level, like he's just going deep, so it's not my fault. And go down. Good. Hinging the body up, remember ribs close, eye down slightly, steer fun, and pull. That's it. 16, 15, 14, 13, kneecaps track properly. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and get down on your knees. Good. Lying down on your tummy completely. Then put your left hand underneath your forehead and grab hold of your right foot to stretch the front of your right thigh. Squeezing your glutes, you tuck your tail and make sure that you push your pubic bone into the mat. Now we don't want to compromise the shoulder, so you want to pull the shoulder up and back and down so that it is in its rightful place as well. And then you squeeze your bum and tuck your tail some more to get the quad stretched. Take a few deep breaths in this position and try and get the best stretch you can in your quads. But if your knees are sore, then remember the side lying option that we've done in a few previous videos. Otherwise, roll a towel and put it at the back of the knee. Also, if you can't reach the foot, you can grab the sock, the leggings, or loop your TheraBand around your foot, no problem. Then let go this foot and grab the other one. Tucking the tail, squeezing the heel towards your bottom, rolling the shoulders down your back, and making sure that you're lifting your belly button up off the ground so that your low back isn't completely arched. So if you do suffer with arching of your low back, then I definitely do the side lying one with the bottom knees pulled to chest in order to prevent overarching your back and essentially hurting it. Looking for some nice deep breaths here, just to bring your heart rate down. And then you can let go of that foot. Use your hands to push you back into a rest position so that we can get some relief into the low back after the stretch. we will go back into some glute work, kneeling, facing forward. So rise up. Turn and face that way, Steph, so that everyone can see. You're going to take your arms out into a T, and then as you windmill down, your right leg kicks out to the right hand side. That's it. We lift the right hand at first up to the ceiling, just so that we know that it's stacked and the shoulders are one on top of the other. You want to move this shoulder back into its socket. Now, if this is a horrific position for your shoulder, you can do a side lying version. So everybody who's in this position is benefiting from being in this posture. You will stay in this posture while Stefan demonstrates side lying. Lying down on your side, supporting your head with your arm. You just straighten the top leg and you can bend the bottom leg. It's not a problem. And so that's what the alternate looks like. Hop back up, Steffi, into this kneeling. So side kick kneeling is going to have the leg elevated in the air. You want to keep your weight over the weight-bearing knee. Now the exercise is going to lift the leg up and down. So you kick that leg up and down, no matter whether you're on the floor or on your knees. Your ribs are in, your glutes are tight, and your leg is biased backwards. Kick it back. Good. Kick it back. Head back. Hand back. Ribs in. Chest back. Hips forward. Leg back. Keep going. And then we pause with the leg in the air, flexing your foot towards your chest. No matter whether you're lying down or kneeling, you pull the leg forward as far as you can. Kick it twice. Point the leg, take it back. Ba, pull forward. Point to go back, flex to come forward. He's shooing me away because I'm not letting him cheat. Interesting. Not everybody has a Jenna hovering. I'm in your room, I'm hovering, mentally hovering. And so we do 2 more. Kick, kick, back, back, go higher. And done. We come up and we go over to the other side. So whatever that looks like for you, you could be lying down on your side. As long as your head is back in alignment and you stack. Now this hand stacks first, one on top of the other. The rib cage needs to move back and then the hand goes behind the head. The ribs are closed, the pelvis is forward and the leg is high. So now we have to spend some time here because we did on the other side. So drawing in the navel, lift the leg in the air. Close the rib cage, head back. Keep pressing into the ground with the shoulder that's on hand weight bearing, but pull the shoulder into its socket. Now we lift the leg up and down, biasing backwards. You keep closing your rib cage, drawing belly button in, kicking it back, using the back of your bum, not the front of your thigh. And so everybody's probably trying to use a little bit of front of thigh, so you just need to encourage yourself. Use the bottom bum to tuck. Bottom bum to tuck, yeah, boy. And so let's do maybe 4 more here. 3, 2, and 1. Stay up, flex your foot, high. Kick forward twice. 1, 2, and back. And forward. And back. And forward. And back. I'm dancing today. Must be because it was our anniversary this week. And 4 more. 3, ribs, glutes, press forward, head back, 2, and 1, and down. Back extension. Let's do it. Lying on your tummy. So you put your hands by your temples, elbows quite close to your sides. Your legs are stuck together. I would like your hands far enough away from your temples that you are able to relax your shoulders a little more. So go wider. Even if half a hand is on the mat and half a hand is off the mat. And then you look more comfortable across the back. On an inhale, you hover your head just off the mat. And then you gaze forward, pressing into your elbows a lot. And you lift yourself up into this half position. Now the exercise is supposed to be all the way to the top, but I quite like having this moment where you push your elbows down into the floor and you cinch your shoulder blades down your back and you really feel that the extension is thoracic focused, meaning upper back. And so you're going to continue to inhale while you're pressing your hands and see how high you can come. So if at this point you realize you can't go much higher without actually hurting yourself and making, one portion of your back do all the work, then you must just come down and move your hands a little further away, higher up the mat. So lower yourself back down again. As you lower, you lift your legs, which are stuck together, straight and long. So you need to squeeze your glutes, tighten your thighs, straighten those legs along the mat. Then, as you lift your head, you lower your legs simultaneously. So it's like one of those herb cutters, like a herb cutter. And now we try and straighten the arms all the way up. Hopefully you put your hands in an appropriate position. And then as you lower yourself down, belly button first, elbows seek the ground, your legs lift up and you reach them long, and the eye line comes in last. So we're going to inhale to lift head and chest. The legs by default go down. As you come up, you straighten your arms completely and you make sure that you're distributing the curve all the way through the spine, not just in one section of the back you come down. Curling down, the elbows seek the ground, the legs are lifting. And then again on your inhale, you go up. And on your exhale, you'll come down, bringing the legs up. On an inhale, you go up. And on an exhale, we come down, bringing the legs up. Last one, you go up. And then we come all the way down. Lower the legs. Push yourself back into a rest position for a second. And from here, we're going to rock forward into 4-point kneeling. Pull your right knee forward and then try and lay down over the right knee. So for some of you, it's impossible to get into this position with the knees that you have. So you're welcome to go ahead and lie on your back, pulling your knee towards your chest, which is a different kind of stretch. So if you're lying on your back and you pull your knee in towards your chest, you'll pull the knee across the body and have a good stretch. Try and relax in this position, opening up the shoulders, trying to get wide with the elbows. Take a few breaths in here. And then come out of it slowly to do the other side. So if you're lying on your back and you're pulling knee to chest, you're going to obviously swap legs. And when you're pulling knee to chest, you can pull it to the opposite shoulder and you'll get a little bit more glute. So if you feel shortchanged on the other side, you can always swap back and pull across the shoulder as well. And do 2 sets per side, because we're spending quite a while pinning the knee in the middle of the chest doing this one here. Just drawing that breath in wide. Softness in the hips. Surrender to the stretch. You can come out of the stretch and then lie down on your back. Relax into your body. Just imagine that you are like a block of ice and you can feel yourself slowly melting. And it's a good feeling. It's a good melting. Just feel as you soften. Soften in the toes and the calves. Soften in the pelvis. In your shoulders. In your jaw. In your brow. Just find a depth of breath that helps that melting feeling expand across your mat. Inhaling fully into all the little accessory breathing muscles, into every corner of your rib cage. Using that inhale to stretch and lengthen connective tissue in your body. If your inhale is big enough, you'll feel the stretch. Take a deep breath in and sigh it out. Take another one in, and as you breathe out, let all tension go. Well done.